So you are all moved into a brand new home, but it's a little too cookie cutter for your taste. Interior designer Sara Svehla is here to help you feel more at home, and so your home can feel more like you. So, why is this happening, right? Because it's happening in a lot of subdivisions.
It is. So often in these newer neighborhoods, they repeat the same floor plans. The builders, they're kind of used to their stock standards. So when you move into one of these homes, they're beautiful, but how do you make it feel more like you? How do you add your personal style into it? So we're going to talk a little about that.
And that's exactly where an interior designer would come in. So let's talk about ways that you can add character to your home.
Right. So I think one of the most impactful things that you can do is adding custom window treatments. I think people so often they default to just putting up blinds, closing the windows, and adding a custom window panel of fabric can really add a lot of style, a lot of color, a lot of softness to the space. And it really, I think, is one of the most impactful things that you can do is adding custom drapery.
So when I was younger in the dorms and those first couple places, like after college and after grad school, that was one of the first things I did was add in a bright pop of color to some of those windows.
Right.
It really helps.
So another thing that you can do is adding built-in shelving. Built-in shelving just gives the room character, gives it space. You walk into one of these homes and typically the walls are blank, everything is empty. Adding shelving makes it feel more unique. You can customize to your needs and really come out with a stunning space that is really tailored to you.
Well, and at the photo we're looking at right now, it really gave it some depth because those shelves, they sort of popped out. You had an inlet that gave it a look that room was much larger than it actually is.
Right, and it also adds a lot of contrast, so it just gives it a lot more visual appeal.
Okay, and then what about wallpaper? Because we've kind of seen that resurgence happen.
Right, so wallpaper is huge again. And you can do a bold wallpaper. You can also do a soft wallpaper. The photo we saw a moment ago, that is just kind of adding a texture to that wall, just making that wall a focal. Again, adding softness to the room, giving it a unique touch. It makes a huge difference.
And it can also add a little color too if you're looking to implement that.
Right.
Now let's say that those may be a little out of your price point because moves, they're expensive. What are some cheaper ways?
So some less expensive ways to add a huge impact would be adding a trim detail on your wall, a simple wood trim detail. A lot of people can do that themselves. You can find a contractor who can do it pretty simply. This is a photo of a really impactful black wall, and it's so simple. It's just a few pieces of trim, painted black. It makes the biggest statement in that room. It makes
so
a real statement room.
The trim is actually on the wall.
The trim is on the wall.
And they added that after just by themselves?
Yes. So it's
just
a simple wall treatment. And this one, again, this is the simplest trim detail. I mean, it's crazy simple. You could do it yourself. You and I could go do it. So
that's great.
A nice way to add a big impact.
And do you have another way that, again, on the lower price point end?
Right. So another trim detail that we have here that we've added some photos, a little simple photo wall above the trim detail. So again, a very simple trim treatment with a ledge on top to add some personality to your space, add some flair. You can add photos of your travels, photos of your family. You can just go anywhere with it. So.
Okay, and Sara, why would we want to use an interior designer? Because when I look at a room like that, I may not see the same thing you do.
Right, so I think it's important to use a designer if you can because they see your space differently than you do. So often, you walk in your house every day, it looks the same from day to day, and a designer can kind of come in, give you a fresh set of eyes. They've got a lot of experience in adding those fun, unique traits to a home. So they can kind of take a quick look at your space and give you some good ideas for how to make it more unique and tailored to your personality.
And when you walk into a room, do you automatically start sizing things up?
I mean, it's natural to do that. I try not to, but of course it's natural to think, oh my gosh, how great would this be with, a fun color or, some interesting textures.
Well, Sara, thank you so much for your time. And of course, all of those wonderful tips, we can all use those.
Yes, thank you.